Hey, mama. So your baby is cruising using the furniture. They're moving side to side. They're starting to show some interest. But the moment you try to let them go, nothing happens. They cling on for dear life. If this sounds familiar, then you're watching the right video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Cherrick Gordon. I'm a pediatric physical therapist. And I hear this from parents all the time. My baby's been cruising. When are they actually going to start walking? Here's what most parents don't realize. There are actually a whole bunch of little mini milestones that happen between cruising and those first independent steps. And if your baby hasn't mastered those little progressions, they're literally not ready to let go yet. It's not about courage, it's about skill building. So today I'm walking you through each of those steps, step by step, in the exact order your baby needs them. Okay, so if that sounds like something you're interested in, grab your baby, get down on the ground, and let's get into it. So let's start with the first one. The first one is simply getting your baby to pull themselves up into standing and just standing there, holding on to the couch, leaning, playing with a toy. This is actually the first step after baby is able to crawl confidently to the couch, put their hands on the couch, and bring themselves up into standing. At this point, you shouldn't really be trying to have your baby do much. You're just looking to have baby stand there, hold on, try to shoot for about 5 to 10 minutes and build up baby's endurance. So that's the first one. The second stage is getting your baby to take steps sideways or to just lean to the side while playing with a toy. Now you can see I have baby up here standing facing the couch. We're engaging with the toys. I'm really not trying to get him to do too much. If he does take a step sideways, I'm going to help him to move his legs, because some babies actually need you to help them to move their legs when they first start standing. They might lean, but they don't know how far their body can go before they tip over. And so you may need to help your baby by moving baby's legs for them, helping baby to keep their center of gravity within their base of support so the baby doesn't fall. And once you practice this with your baby for a little while, they will get the hang of it and start actually moving. Once baby starts moving, I want to encourage you to cue your baby to move in both directions. Move to the right side and move to the left side while baby is practicing playing with the toy. As you can see, this baby is not moving side to side. He's just standing there holding my hands, which may happen. Your baby may actually turn all the way around and end up facing you even before they're ready. You can see he's not even trying to take a step. He's just leaning towards me and kind of letting himself go. But this is totally fine. Have him up on his legs. He's bearing his weight. He's standing, and he's just not ready for what's actually about to come next. So we'll keep on practicing. Up next, we're going to do what's called cruising, but cruising around a corner. Once baby gets good at cruising sideways, you want to encourage your baby to cruise around. I like to call this an inside corner. And you cue baby to cruise and go around, from cruising sideways to now taking a turn and going along the furniture, going along the couch, and actually just taking those steps sideways. As he continues to improve his balance, his dynamic balance, and take those steps sideways, I'm going to continue to challenge him to do things that are a little bit more difficult for him. As you can see, we're increasing the level of difficulty as baby is moving around. Here you can see I have him reaching down, picking a toy up, and coming back up to standing, and continuing to move side to side using the couch for support and give him a little bit of stability. You also want to make sure the baby is able, like I said, move in both directions. So I'm going to have him go to the right, and then I'm going to have him bend down, pick up a couple of toys or look at some toys, keep on going. You can see I have him move off of the mat to where now he is on the floor with his bare feet. I hope you notice that I have him with his bare feet so that he doesn't slide around. I encourage parents to have babies without socks up until baby is able to walk. Even when baby starts practicing walking, I want you to encourage your baby to continue to move around without socks. It helps your baby to just grip the floor. It helps those little toes to grab onto the floor. It works on baby's dynamic balance, moving balance as baby continues to cruise from side to side. I'm going to have him go in the opposite direction and return and go back around that inside corner as he's practicing his cruising. Once baby gets good at cruising, holding on onto a horizontal surface, baby is going to move on to what's called vertical cruising. Now you can see I have this baby here with her hands. I'm cueing her to move sideways to go get her push walker and have her move around. But you can see she's doing this using just vertical support, which encourages baby to balance themselves over her feet and just get her dynamic balance going. Once she's finished with that, we're ready to move on to the next stage, which is to have baby using a push walker. I don't like walkers where baby is inside the walker, but I definitely like these push walkers where baby can move around and push the walker. You see how upright she is? She's pushing the walker, and I'm going to practice with her and let her get good at pushing the walker and moving around the kitchen, moving around the island in her kitchen until I can get her to practice in both directions, turning towards her right, turning towards her left. You can see she's having some difficulty there, but she's getting the practice of moving the walker. I want you to practice with your baby. Let your baby get good at holding the walker and turning the walker. When baby is able to turn the walker, it means baby is practicing in both directions and practicing some good trunk rotation. Up next, I'm going to cue her to do some stepping over an obstacle course. I'm holding her hands, I'm walking behind her, and I'm having her practice stepping over an obstacle course. Stepping over an obstacle course is a fantastic way to get baby to do some dynamic weight shifting, standing, bearing her weight on one leg at a time as she steps over the obstacle course. This is a fantastic activity to do with your little one. You don't have to do anything as formal as this. I just had these and I happen to have her use it. But you can use cushions, you can use whatever you have available in the home to have baby practice. Up next, I would encourage you to have your baby crawling upstairs. Crawling up the stairs with you behind your baby is a fantastic activity to strengthen those little legs, get her to plant her legs on a surface that's a little bit higher than where she is, and then push her body weight through it while she's holding on using the spindles for support. You want to make sure that baby is alternating their legs and going from one leg to the next leg. In the beginning, baby may show a preference for using one leg and just doing one side of the body. You want to make sure that baby is pushing through those legs with both sides of her body. This is a great way to strengthen baby's legs and do some leg strengthening exercises while baby's getting the strength needed for walking. Once baby is able to walk, what you're going to do is move on to the next stage, which is to have baby actually able to walk up the stairs, shifting her weight, alternating her legs while holding on. You can see I'm giving her a little bit of support with my finger, but I'm encouraging her to hold on to those spindles while she's taking her steps up, going up the stairs. The final stage is what's called the confidence gap. You can use your legs for support and have baby stand in front of you, just a short distance away from the front of the couch, and encourage baby to take some steps to where baby is able to step towards the couch and move to the couch. I like to do this so that if baby loses her balance while she's stepping to the couch, she would actually fall up against the couch. This was about the third or fourth time we practiced, and she decided she didn't need the couch anymore. And so these are her first steps. You can see she has her hands in what's called the high guard position. This is a position baby uses as her little balance poles. And you can see that she fell down and I actually let her fall. And that's a tip I would encourage you. Once you're encouraging baby to walk independently, I would encourage you to kind of try to force yourself to step back and let baby fall if she needs to, in order to get some good practice with this whole walking thing, get her dynamic balance, allow her to bring her hands up, use her hands as her balance poles, and take those steps. Just make sure that you're doing it in an incremental manner so that baby is able to actually build up her confidence. If you need to start off with baby close to the couch and have baby take some steps, that is totally fine. Each baby is going to progress at their own pace. And that's what you want baby to do. So those are my tips for making that transition from cruising to actually walking and taking those first initial steps. My next video, I'm going to move on into taking steps independently and some techniques and some tips that you can use once your baby is actually able to walk. But you might notice your baby, it loses their balance and falls a lot. So I'm going to do a live about some steps that you can take to take care of your baby once your baby is walking independently, if your baby happens to fall into that category where your baby is unstable and your baby loses their balance and falls a lot, like trips and falls forward, how to help your baby to be able to navigate that. So you definitely want to stay tuned. Okay, I will see you in the next video, my friends. Have a good evening. Don't forget to like, comment,